And this is Susan Hamilton, and you're listening to the Offbeat Business Show. Thank you so much for tuning in during your valuable lunch hour. I have got a treat for you today. We're talking to Tracy Haynes of the Authority Syndicate. And this is cool. We have some interesting collaboration because the Offbeat Business Show is all about helping you build your influence in the community, helping you recognize that. And then I meet Tracy, and he's all about building authority. And you're going to really dig this conversation. So tune in and tell your friends to listen. Hey, Tracy.
Hey, Susan. Thanks for having me.
It's so good to have you here. You came a long way.
Yes, Houston, Texas. 4 hours and 14 minutes. Not too bad.
Yeah.
A lot of personal development time in 4 hours.
Oh, so you're using your time wisely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you travel a bit. I've seen you. You've been speaking all over the United States.
Just got back from North Carolina at the business marketing event in Raleigh, North Carolina. So it was 3 days of entrepreneurs and business owners, and it was very exciting.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. So that didn't just happen overnight. You had to develop your authority, and you had to develop people, that whole aspect of your business. And at some point, a light bulb must have gone on where you realized, wow, I am actually more effective to everyone I meet if I build this section of me up. Tell me about the process there.
Yes, you hit it exactly on the head. As far as building your platform, so people realize that you're the authority and the go-to expert, you have to build that platform, and that platform consists of many things. And I bring on author, speakers, and entrepreneurs and small business owners and help them build that platform, what I call the 9 steps to claiming your authority. And it's been a little bit about my background. I'm a retired U.S. Navy veteran. I was a mass communication specialist in the Navy. I got to hang out with presidents and celebrities and do video and interviews, much like we're doing here. So that segued into what I'm doing today, helping people get recognized for their expertise through publishing, through media, all kinds of medias. And publishing is just a small part of it. We've got podcasting, we've got writing, we've got being a contributor to other magazines, being quoted on Entrepreneur, Inc., Business Week, and things like that. So it's taken, it doesn't happen overnight, but it's the fastest way to claim your authority so you can get your phone to ring.
And I love how you say that, to claim your own. First of all, Tracy, thank you for your service, and thank you for participating in the American experience in the way that you did.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And sharing it with us, because without the people in the media during those times, we wouldn't know what's going on. So that's pretty valuable to me. But when you're talking about publishing being a small bit in all these other areas, I mean, a lot of times people think that publishing is this big, scary thing. It's incredibly time-consuming. I can't tell you how many authors that I talk to that really, the time from when they started writing their book to the time when it's about ready to go out, I mean, this is grueling, and then it's, marketing my book. What you've brought to the table, especially for veterans right now, I think is really, really awesome. Especially coming up here, this show will be airing right about the time all of our American families are cooking out for 4th of July.
Yes, 4th of July.
And hanging out for that. I mean, you found a way to help them recognize their authority in the marketplace. And the word celebrity comes up a lot, but it's not a small word, friends. It's not a small word. That is so important, because some of these business owners, we need to see those veterans kicking it up and really doing a great job.
Yes. In the past, traditional publishing has been so challenging, I guess, to most people that had a book in them or had some content. A lot of people don't realize that the content they have can be brought out in several different ways. There's 1,000 ways to write a book. We've managed to make it real easy and simple to leverage a business owner, an entrepreneur, or a speaker or coach, to leverage their expertise to bring clients to them so they can pick and choose who they do business with, and spin that and use that to build that platform I talk about of the 9 steps over time, And I call that the Kardashian effect. I know that has a negative connotation to it, but the Kardashians are always in the news, right? A business owner.
There's something to that.
Business owners don't realize they have to be in the news constantly in either publishing, being an advocate and an educator to their clients, or providing news releases or things that they're doing. Most of them don't realize what a news event is in their business. So what we do, we start out with the publishing of a book. We use that as a news event. And then we take them to the bestseller status, and then we do feature stories on them and just keep, as they say, spinning it until over time you've built this platform. When you're at a networking event and I meet you, if I go home and search your name, I'm going to search your name. I'm not going to search your business name. What am I going to find? Am I going to find a Yelp review? Am I going to find something else that's not necessarily positive? But I want to find that you're an expert in what you said you were an expert in. So those things need to be there. Your USA Today interview, your quote on Forbes, your contributing to CNN, your
Now wait a
blog
minute.
posts.
You make sure that we get in all of those locations.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Yes. And that is the platform that we're talking about. And that's what I mean. Publishing is just a small part of that. And when you show up at a network event and you have your book as your business card, we're not talking about your life story. We're talking about a solution that helps your target audience to bring them closer to you so you can have a further conversation. And it allows you to raise your prices.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
it allows you to be the definite go-to person in the marketplace. And I love to tell this story about if you're building your kitchen and you're looking for a contractor, you always go out for referrals, right? You ask your friends or your church associates or your group, and they give you a name, and their recommendation is he's a great guy, he's solid, and this is my recommendation. So you go and look for him, and while you're looking, he only has his LinkedIn account or a Facebook account that he's never made a post on in years, or you're not finding much on the person. But in the meantime, you find this gentleman that's in the area. He's got his own TV show. He has his own podcast. He's been featured on USA Today. He's been quoted in authority sites. So who are you going to pick?
And it's interesting because there's two sides of that coin, if you ask me, and I think you'd agree. The one is I feel like that person who's more widely known will help me increase my reach, so that's a good connection for me, right? I just kind of assume that's the circle I want to be found in. But that other aspect, like you mentioned earlier, people assume, and it's wise that you have a more valuable experience working with them, that you are going to charge more. It costs to live that life. And yes, there should be something to show for your experience when you have worked this hard, and when you have served our country, and we don't do enough to celebrate that in America today. There's too many people that don't realize it. But I feel like the reason the Offbeat Business Show and magazine so strongly wants to support our veterans is we see that as a strong undercurrent of American business. We are dealing with these issues today.
Yes.
And all of them. Whether there's a need because a veteran's come back and has had a hard time transitioning back, or what about those veterans that are really using all the skills that they developed during their service and they're bringing it to the table to cause our business to be running just an A game. That's something we need to see. We need to celebrate that, and we need to talk about that. And Tracy is showing us how to take a business that might, you're working hard, you're in it. How do you take it and really capitalize on the experience and expertise you bring to the table? Well, I'll tell you. You hook up with Tracy Haynes. That's what you do. And the Offbeat Business Show has done that. So if you are a veteran business, I hope you're listening to this. Listen, we got to take a break, and I hope you're enjoying this conversation with Tracy Haynes. And when we get back, we are going to talk a little bit more about what he's doing and exposing you to celebrity status and the Authority Syndicate.
Hi, my name is Angela Love Foster. I'm the founder, executive director of Boxes of Love Ministry. Boxes of Love is a ministry that puts together shoeboxes of hygiene items to give to the homeless, people that have lost their homes in a fire or natural disaster, anyone that finds themselves in a financial situation or struggle. And if you feel it in your heart to donate financially, or if you'd like to donate products, please feel free to donate. You can contact me on Facebook at Boxes of Love, or you can contact me via telephone at 469-364-0022. 469-364-0022.
Vino Say it with wine. At Vino Say, we offer customized wine engravings. They can be done as singles or as an ongoing service so that you can show your gratitude and say thank you to all the different people or businesses that you want to be remembered. You can make a statement and be remembered. So whenever you need to say it with wine. VinoSay.com.
And we're back. Hey, this is Susan Hamilton. You're listening to the Offbeat Business Show, and I'm talking to Tracy Haynes of the Authority Syndicate, and he is helping business owners become celebrities so that they can make more money and have a greater influence in their community, which is, of course, why the Offbeat Business Show is hooking up with him. So tell us more about this, because celebrity is not a dirty word. I mean, people pounce on that.
Yes. Celebrity in your local market is... Dan Kennedy says it best. If you're not actively and systematically creating that persona, some people call it authority, some people call it celebrity status, but you reach a certain plateau in your community as the go-to person for your expertise. And it's just a matter of steps, and you have to get into the game and continually doing it and consistently. And that's where we come in, is we help those entrepreneurs, speakers, and coaches take those steps so they build that solid platform. And we're real excited to team up with the Offbeat Business Show. We're offering an opportunity for vets, business vets, that are impacting the world, and not only celebrating them, but celebrating the fact that how they're helping people in their local community and becoming educator and advocates for their target audience. And we're recognizing them in a special book that we've teamed up on called the Lone Star Veteran Business Entrepreneurs in the local area. And Susan and I got together to produce this book, and we're inviting you to participate. And it's a great step of establishing your authority and your celebrity status within your market.
And Tracy, I wouldn't trust anybody else to do that.
Well, I'm honored.
We've talked on several occasions. The first time we met, I was presenting at the Future Media Association, which is another group I always make sure I share with you. They are really connecting people and business owners to using media. One of the things that I stand for also, you've got to approach new media. You've just got to get into this space. Your audience is like this, and I know we don't want to get involved and help them, but friends, you can't influence them if you're not there. Get in that space. It's so important for you. But as Tracy and I were speaking, and I realized his heart for veterans and his eye went up, and I could tell as we were talking, man, he was totally engaged. And as a veteran himself, he understands that when you are talking and when you're having this interview, a veteran doesn't have to be afraid that you're going to ask them inappropriate questions or things that compromise their security level or anything like that. We're not going there. No, he's going to respect you, and he's going to take and honor you. He's going to make you look really good because it reflects on him as well. That I trust.
Awesome. We're excited. So you need to reach out to Susan if you're interested, and we've got some deadlines to meet, but if you feel like you have an awesome product or a service or impacting the community, that's why you're in business, right? Because you're trying to relieve a pain in the marketplace, whatever that is, whatever your expertise is. So we're taking that and we're putting it together in a nice book so you can be proud of it. You can use it as your business card. You can share it at networking events. And that's just the first step. And we're going to take that and we're going to do a press release and acknowledge the fact that you're in the process of publishing a book so we can use that as a newsworthy event. And then once it gets published and we get you to a bestseller status, we're going to praise that and get that into the media. and get it circulated so everybody knows what you're doing. You will not be not found out at that point. But
and you don't have time to do this. I promise you. That's the issue. And that's, I network all over this area and started networking in Houston. And I intend to go beyond. But one thing I'm seeing across the board, friends, is we don't have the time to do our own promotion. And it's not wise to do your own promotion, not when you've got somebody who's in this space already occupying it and well known in it. The best thing for you to do is connect with someone who is and let them do it, because they know exactly what needs to get done. And friends, if you want to get to that spot where you're getting off the hamster wheel and you're ready to say, I'm going to enjoy the fact that I can charge more now. I've busted my hump to get to this spot.
Yes.
I've accomplished those goals. Now it's time for that to come back, and time for me to go start enjoying some vacations with my family. It's time for me to start, reaping the fruits of my labor. Then realize that the fastest way to do that and the smartest way to do that for the long term. This is not a short-term solution, Tracy.
Right. Exactly. It's going to take some effort on all of our parts, obviously, but you're going to be able to leverage it in your social media and in your activity online, and you will be separated from a Me Too market, because it used to be 2009 when I published my first book for a colleague. He was a very smart guy, was an inventor, college educated, but he had no idea about how to publish a book, and he didn't want to learn how to publish a book. So he gave me a challenge. He said, you need to find out how to publish books so you can publish mine, because I have several in my head. So that's what I did. And when I gave him that book, it was so rewarding to him, and not only him but me, that I did it for him, that I was hooked. And that was back in 2009, and helping him realize his dream and vision of being a published author. And then we've taken it a step further. And as I mentioned earlier, there's 1,000 ways you can publish a book. So we do it in a unique way that you can use it for leverage. It's not time consuming. In fact, I spend 30 to 40 minutes with you. We take it from there, and you're basically done with the process at that point. So we just have to ask you some other questions, a form you fill out. But other than that, you're done with it, and then we take it from there and put it in all the places it needs to go.
And when I say it's not a short-term solution, what we're saying is this is a long-term solution. Once this is done, you always have this. This is going to go with you everywhere. And that online footprint is so important. One of the ladies that I have a lot of respect for, Amy Howell of Howell PR in Tennessee. And one of the things she shared at DFW Rock Social last year, she was saying, friends, if you do not have a social footprint, and something happens in your business, some PR issue happens in your business, that's a very expensive solution, or to come up with. That's not an inexpensive or a small thing. A PR company, to do a good job and get you out of that PR hot water and turn things around, has a lot of work to do. But if you already have a social footprint, now you've got some reputation already that a PR firm can come in and work with. And in the course of American business, there may be a PR issue. I mean,
yes.
Those things can happen.
They could.
And it's nice to have that backup online.
Yes. Another thing I'd like to mention is when you continually doing the articles and being a contributor or an educator and an advocate to your audience by authoring articles and producing content on Pulse, on LinkedIn, and which makes you a thought leader. And you're not selling your product, you're educating your audience. And you're doing that through writing, video, and things like that. And we can help you with that as well. But as long as you continually putting that footprint out there, it's hard for bad press to penetrate that. Because all these things that we're dealing with are authority sites, and they rank better than SEO because your name's attached to it.
Okay. What was that, Tracy?
Your name's attached to it, and it ranks better than SEO. Because if they type your name in, that's what's going to come up first versus your company or versus any other thing. So every time we do an article, it begins with your name and then starts with or ends with whatever you're doing in your company. So whenever if they meet you in a networking event and they type in your name, that comes up, and that pushes everything else down on the search. So if there happens to be something that might come up that's a negative, it helps that out quite a bit. But the key word here is consistency. Consistently adding value to your marketplace, not selling, but consistently adding content, and educating your audience, much like the contractor. Maybe he's got 25 videos that he's done answering questions or frequently asked questions he might get about a contractor or working on a kitchen, whatever those are. And we're not talking 5-10 minute videos, we're talking a couple minutes that adds value versus the other contractor doesn't have anything there. So that's the tipping point that creates the separation.
And
the others.
that's interesting you say that. I do a presentation on that because we have two different visitors all the time. One that comes to because they are just want it done fast, they want it done in their time frame, and that's the customer that's asking you the question. If you will use your content to answer that question and put that on your website instead of spending your time and your money dealing with that, you've already addressed it. That your content's easily found. That's the shareable stuff. That's what they're looking for anyway. That behavior of customer behavior to your website is exactly what's going to bring the ideal client to you, who's willing to pay more. And what was that? That was building that authority and building that platform on their website. So everything about what Tracy is saying here, I completely endorse and back up. And I hope that you take this audio or take this video and share it with your friends. Get this word out. This offer has a shelf life. And it's very important that you get in on it because we really want to support you, friends, and we really want to help American business gain that influence that we need. And that's not for nothing. We have things that we're too busy dealing with, to deal with. We've got all these things that affect our families. There are people that are making choices that directly affect us in business with our children, with our parents, with our veterans, with our health care, with our taxation, and we're too busy to pay attention to what those things are. But you have a voice, and your voice can matter. And when you build your influence in the community and you build your influence online, you are really your voice counts. And it's time for your voice to count, friends, and it's especially time for your voice to count, veterans, and we want to support you. Tracy, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate
Thank you very much.
You can find all our upcoming lineup, all of our replays, and sign up for your very own copy of the Offbeat Business Magazine at offbeatbusiness.com. Tracy, how can they find you?
They can find me at immediatecelebritystatus.com. That's immediatecelebritystatus.com. Or I encourage you to connect with me on LinkedIn at tallenhaynes.com, and I'll send you a copy of my #1 international best-selling book.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And remember, veterans, if you are interested in getting in on this book, Lone Star Veteran Business Leaders.com. It is a www.lonestarveteranbusinessleaders.com. This is Susan Hamilton. You've been listening to the Offbeat Business Show.